Hello, good morning. Oh, yeah, it's early morning. I guess still nighttime here. If you live in Virginia, I guess it's daylight, but barely. But we're at the shortest days of the year today, tomorrow, Saturday. I have two gold rums from the same company. Good morning to you, Maxwell. Maxwell and the Russian Federation. This is Winn-Dixie WD Liquors, Winn-Dixie Liquors distilled rum imported from the Caribbean islands. Can't say which islands because they don't detail it. It's probably a blend of rums from different islands, whatever they got on discount. They got this going on sale right now for $12.99 at Winn-Dixie. $12.99 for this big bottle. All right, I forgot to put in the notes. It's a Caribbean rum. What about this one? Let me check, double check. Yeah. Okay. They're 40% alcohol Caribbean Islands Gold Rum, or West Indies, if you want to use that term. They're both bottled in Kentucky, Frankfort, Kentucky. That's Buffalo Trace Distillery by Wide World Importers. Or if you want to know the real name, look at the bottom of the bottle. Sazerac.com, which they don't list on their website. You could look for these two on Sazerac.com, but you'll not find them. You'll find rums like Cane Run, which is sort of like their flagship, Cane Run, which is only a silver rum. There is no gold or high proof Cane Run. This bottle, I don't know how old this brand was introduced in 1989, and it looks like they have never changed the label. I always say it looks like a 1989 Ocean Pacific shirt. They used to be a popular like beach apparel brand. I don't know if they still make it. This liter, cream colored, cream khaki with the sand, sand color, I guess. Yeah, beach scenes. This was $6.99 for a liter. About to drop it. Yeah, that would convert to $12.23 for a handle. So we're looking at less than $1 difference per bottle. Label out. From the same company. And look, I did Skull from Sazerac, even though it says J.A. Doherty and Sons, Owensboro, Kentucky, but Doherty is part of Sazerac. I couldn't even tell them apart. Couldn't tell Skull from WD. Now there were two older rum brands from Sazerac, Old Superior Rum and Pontalba Rum. Wasn't called Ron Pontalba, it was called Pontalba Rum. Ron Pontalba means rum, Pontalba. But it looks like they phased those out and replaced it with this. Do I see this one around? Never in this town, but 28,000 people, limited supply. If I went to New Orleans, I can find it. Kenner, Metairie, New Orleans, Tarrytown, Gretna, such as that. I see it at bars, restaurants and bars, like they're well rum, like right underneath the counter on the rail for making overpriced. And you say, give me a whatever rum cocktail you want, pina colada, something. You don't ask for the type of rum. They might pull this bottle. Now they probably got it. Well, they definitely got it at New Orleans from that New Orleans wholesale liquor, which I couldn't go. They have everything. Like you go there, they said we can get anything. And they're open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, not even closed Christmas Day. And New Orleans wholesale liquor, you have to you have to have a wholesale license to buy stuff there. You know, you can go in there and look. You can get on their website, look at their portfolio. But as a consumer, I couldn't buy there. But anyway, they probably get it for $4.99 a liter or $5.99. So the upcharge is amazing. Now, my question is, are they taking the same rum, put it in two different bottles with two different labels and selling it as different brands? I don't know. I don't know how that's done. I asked them but no, there's no way these are the same. Got that straight. I asked them on the phone about that, and the lady said, we never use the same. That's close enough. We never use the same product, the same bourbon. We never take the same bourbon and repackage it. But she was specific. She said we never use the same bourbon. One word. She didn't say anything about rum, vodka, gin, brandy. So, and like William Kepley said, it's not what they say, it's what they don't say that lets you know a lot. See, they're very careful, and he says this, they're very careful in how they phrase things. She didn't say all of our products. She said, in particular, bourbon. So that was a very good observation that he made. There's the website. That's it. That's all they show. Winn-Dixie Dark Rum, $12.99 till January 7th. Buy it. Only this size and only the store. Can't get it curbside pickup or delivery. Okay. Has it been around as long as Winn-Dixie? This I don't know because, now look, this one is so pale. It's like straw. And this one is darker. So this is barely a gold rum. It's more like a straw rum. I have to close my eyes. It's weird. Yeah, this is the pale one. Pale. I noticed that when I did the solo review. Pale. Got my tags mixed up. I was blabbing. I poured the competitor in the main glass and the main in the competitor glass because I know I didn't move the glass. All right, well I am moving them now. So one could have coloring added, one may not have coloring, but Sazerac usually will tell you if they add in coloring or flavoring. They'll put that right on the label. These don't indicate anything like that. All they say is they're imported from the Caribbean islands. So I'm thinking, yeah. Ron Pontalba says right there, gold. Gold. You could figure that out by looking at it. But the white, there's another one that says white. Identical bottles, identical labels. It's just that one label says gold, one says white, and you would be able to tell that by looking at the products. I think there is a Ron Pontalba spice rum, I'm pretty sure, and there's a Ron Pontalba overproof 151, but I wouldn't be interested in that. I never have had an overproof rum in my life, and that sounds plenty strong, far too strong to me. I can't stand the barrel proof bourbons, and they're nowhere near 151 proof. So yeah, that ain't going to work in this on this channel. But I know other people buy it. You know, they buy overproof rum for different uses. Go right to Walmart there. They got Ray and Nephew, the famous Ray and Nephew overproof. That's one of your big brands, clear as a bell from Jamaica. So I heard stories about people getting so ill drinking that stuff, but it's not made for that. It's made for mixtures. Okay, that smells neutral, more or less. This one, I'm picking up a little oak barrel, honestly. Little oak. Now, are these aged a long time? No. I seriously doubt if they get a year on them. Maybe a year and a half if you push in the envelope. Now, I've got an 8-year rum. Bacardi 8-year aged. Ocho Reserve. Reserva Ocho. Got the Grand Reserve Diaz, aged 10 years. They're definitely not $6.99 a liter, but they're awesome. None of the other rums I have even think about challenging them. I mean, those will obviously destroy any other rum I have, and those aren't even that expensive. The 10-year is like $50 or less, and the 8-year is $35 or less. And they sell them in those gift packs. I bought a gift pack at Walmart one time on closeout. That January 1st had come and gone, New Year's Day, and they had them in a cedar humidor with the dial on the top, humidifier, humidity gauge on the top, and the little device in there to keep the cigars humid, and with a glass front window, I guess you call it, and with two brass snaps to open it. Beautiful thing with the two rums in it, the 10-year and the 8. That was $70. Now that's a bargain. You get both for $70 and the case, and I still have them in the case with another rum that I could fit, because I could fit 3 in there actually, and that was amazing, man. But what's even more amazing is that they had it on closeout for $35. Oh man, my father said I don't even drink alcohol anymore, and I'd buy that. He'd buy it just to give it to somebody. $35 off of 70. I'm telling you, man, when Walmart does a closeout, they don't play around. They do not play around. They just basically give it away. You get it out the store. I bought scotch at Walmart for $5 a bottle. I bought Canadian whiskey at Winn-Dixie for $4.75 a bottle. They used to do the same thing. I hadn't seen any closeouts too much lately. A few, not alcohol, canned goods and stuff. Aldi, same thing. They'll give it away. They don't want it. Now that pumpkin season is winding down, I don't think it's totally wound down personally, but I mean, we're still in fall technically on the calendar. But Aldi decided, hey man, let's get this pumpkin ale out the store and the seltzer. Well, I would never buy the seltzer, but I looked at that tag yesterday. I gotta keep my eyes closed, and I'll tell y'all about that later, okay? If you want to hear about it, you may not care. All right, taste time. Okay, sugar, which makes sense because rum is made from molasses, which is a byproduct of sugar cane. So yeah, it's just all up and down, front to back, diagonal, side to side sugar. Yeah, and wood. But the finish is mostly dry. It's amazing how they can get it to come out that way. Medium bodied, nice product. Is it a great rum? Yeah, sure. For $6.99 a liter, yeah, it's great. No, I mean, come on, common sense. It's adequate, serviceable. It's fine. That's why the restaurants in New Orleans have the rum Pontalba for their happy hour rum cocktails. Hey, no problem. Still good. Like 8.3 B. It's good. And you say, well, for $6.99 a liter, I think it's really good. When you balance that, price versus quality, then you can see that it's a fair deal. You put it up against Bacardi, it's going to get killed. But then Bacardi, you're going to pay $15 for the little skinny 750 bottle, because they kind of skinny bottles, tall but skinny. So yeah, I mean this is just like common sense. Like a consumer would know this without you telling them, I would think. I would hope. This one's got a little more depth to the taste, the flavor, a little darker tasting, like a little more, I don't know what you say, like a creme brulee type, but barely that, like that burnt sugar type of thing. No, I mean, mm, don't y'all love rum cakes? I love those things. All right. We even have the chocolate candies you can get around Christmas time. Chocolate, and they're filled with rum. My grandmother used to buy that. I was like 4 years old or 3 years old eating them, and I didn't like that liquor taste in the middle. I'd be like, but I like the chocolates. So I still would eat them, because when you're little, a toddler or a little 4 or 5 year old, you don't like those kind of flavors, but the chocolate you like, sweet. Funny though, I did like beer as like a 2, 3 year old. I did. My parents would let me sip the beer, Miller High Life usually or Dixie, and I always thought it tasted good. And then when I tried light beer as a teenager, I just thought it was 18 years old. You could drink at 18 in Louisiana back in those days. You could buy alcohol at 18 in those days, and not that Louisiana was ever particularly strict on. They really was kind of wide open on carding people. ID card. I mean, I had friends, acquaintances more like, but people I knew in high school that every Friday they couldn't wait to go to Bourbon Street. We go on to Bourbon Street. They 15 years old, 16, and they would buy beer, cocktails on from the bars. No, they never check. Never check. Uh, Now that changed. U.S. government started bringing the hammer down on Louisiana. Like, hey, look, you got to start enforcing not that they could tell Louisiana what to do. They couldn't, but they used that. You might lose highway funds. You see, that's how that operates. Well, we're going to all share the money to build highways, but if you don't do what we say, we'll hold it back from you, which undermines the whole concept of the Constitution. But they following that Henry Clay, John Quincy Adams approach, Alexander Hamilton approach. And so Louisiana said, all right, in 1987, changed the age to buy alcohol to 21, but they left a loophole in it. The law only said you had to be 21 to buy it, not to own it, possess it, drink it. You see, or sell it even. So still 18 to sell. You can work at a counter at a bar and sell beer at 18. You just can't drink it or buy it. Isn't that crazy? But so that went on for a long time, and it was like a wink, wink. We did what we were told to do, and everybody kind of knew the game. And then about, I guess, 20 years ago, they were like, no, 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 we know what's going on around here. So they made them change. I guess it was under Bill Clinton or George W. Bush. So they changed the law to where you had to be 21 to drink alcohol, possess it, or to buy it. Unless you were with your parents at home or at a restaurant, and then you could drink at 12 years old if you read the regulations. All right. True story. Okay. And they probably did that because of like bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs, and you know what I mean. So kosher wine, family get-togethers, if and that group of people, ethnic group, has a lot of influence. You see, especially in the city of New Orleans. So that was done. That, but that would be very rare to see somebody doing that. All right, so I'm talking about that kind of consumption. But maybe you would see that if you went to Metairie, Louisiana, in the that Orthodox area, by the Chabad Center. These are close, man. They're not close in appearance. They're close in where they are bottled, same place. They're close in their parent company, same company. Close in their ABV, identical. Aging, don't know. Obviously, the Winn-Dixie is much more widely available, although Winn-Dixie stores look like one every week. Another Winn-Dixie store in Louisiana is being converted to Aldi. I don't know what's going to happen with that. They own it. They can do what they want. I don't quite understand the approach, but they're the boss now. They bought Winn-Dixie with cash. That's why it happened so quick. They didn't have to go get financing to buy Winn-Dixie. They just wrote him a check and handed it to him, got it all signed, sealed, and they had it. That's how wealthy Aldi is. $1 billion company. You don't usually see that, a purchase with cash. And of course, the people that own Winn-Dixie were like, thanks and goodbye. Took the money and ran. They own Winn-Dixie and Hardee's. Okay, so last chance here. Sweet, nice. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice. It's good. Like I said, 8.3. Over here. What's wrong with my respiratory system? Maybe. maybe this is slightly darker. I mean, slightly more roasted in the flavor, if that makes sense. But in a practical sense, they're the same. Which one's better? Neither. Which one's worse? Neither. They're both 8.3. A B. They're good. They're fine. If I'm buying either one, I'm gonna go which one is cheaper. And if I could save 76 cents by buying the Ron Pontalba, I buy it. Have I seen plastic big handle bottles of Ron Pontalba? Yes, I have. Not a lot, but I've seen them. And usually I see the glass liter bottles, but I've seen them in it's like the same price, same everything. All right. So it's a wash on that. But I think I was about trying to take my glasses off and they're already off. I think this is the Ron. I think this is the WD because it's a little lighter in the flavor, just a little bit. Can't believe I got it. That was scary. Close call. But why not a close call? It's close. The whole thing was close. But they're not the same. So that shot down my theory. It wasn't even a theory. It was just a question. By just pouring them in the glass, you could see one is significantly darker than the other in the glass. Now through the bottle, it's hard to tell. But once you pour them, and like one is straw and one is copper. Now back to Aldi. Anybody want to hear what I got the Aldi pumpkin ale for? Anyone? I wasn't looking for it. No. But I like it. It's called State of Brewing Pumpkin Ale. It's contracted by a company in Wisconsin called State of Brewing. The real name is Octopi. I think they got bought out. I think they got bought by some huge beer company like Asahi or Peroni. Not a Peroni. Peroni's owned by Asahi. Like Asahi or Heineken or somebody. I gotta research that today if I get a chance. That's no shock. They're producing so much beer, they're ripe for a buyout, and they're gonna sell because cash. Okay. So anyway, no one wants to know. All right. But anyway, I got a great deal, a shocking deal, a deal that's almost beyond belief. I couldn't believe it. When I saw the tags yesterday, I was like, that can't be right. Now, Aldi has electronic tags, price tags on the shelf. So they change them in the office, probably a corporate office, probably not even the local store. So it's a LED readout. So it might say $7.99, right? And then they could instantly change it. And if they put a red background, that means it's closeout or super sale. So that was a stunner, Anyway, well, y'all take care. And I think today I might do a revisit of the Aldi pumpkin ale because I did it last year and I loved it. I did a duo review with my friend David. He was sort of like, I don't really like pumpkin beers. He thought it was fine, but he thought it was a little heavy on the spice. But then he was qualifying he said, look, I just don't like pumpkin beers, so I don't want people to take this the wrong way, like it's a bad product. He said, I wouldn't buy it, but if you if this is your thing, it's probably fine. I don't know how he's going to feel about this Louisiana pumpkin beer that I just reviewed. I haven't posted it yet. So yeah, and then my daughter, whether she's interested or not, I don't know. She might be. Say you want to do a review, she might say yeah. So we'll see what she wants to do. All right. Yeah. So y'all take care now, and see you later. See you later, guys. This is going to be kind of repetitive until I get out of the Sazerac world. I think I have one more Sazerac rum, one or two more. And so they're going to be very similar because they just do that. They have a house style. It's like Jim Beam. You could drink all these different Jim Beam bourbons and pretend like they're very different. But if you're honest with yourself, you'll say, they kind of like the same, like Buffalo Trace. You could pretend that Buffalo Trace bourbons are all so exotically different. And, oh, I got this. Oh, I got that. Look what I found. And then you taste them all. But if you're honest with yourself, you'd be like, man, this is a pretty compact house style, You say, what about Miller beers? All the beers from Miller Brewing in Milwaukee. There you go. It's like comic books. You could look at a comic book and you say, that's DC, that's Marvel. You know what I mean? Maybe years ago, not now, because they hired all these these freelance people that work for cheap. But years ago, in the 1970s and 80s, you could show me a comic book, just open it up. I don't see the cover, and I could say, that's DC, that's Marvel. I would know in a flash. I knew the style, and I could tell by even the ink, how they did the inking. There was a way that DC Comics did it. You'd never see that in Marvel. And a way Marvel did, you'd never see that in DC. But just the style of the art would never confuse the two. You'd never dream. Now, of course, things started to change because a lot of Marvel artists were jumping to DC, better pay rate, and they didn't like the oversight they were getting because they were finally having to be disciplined. They were being told, look, you're not going to use a whole page with a flash, an explosion, and call that artwork. You're just trying to gain pay rate because we get paid per page. You're just trying to hustle us. And they would say, oh, you're picking on me. And they say, it's not like we're picking on you. It's like you're going to do the artwork. You're going to draw correctly and not fill a whole page with an explosion. And so then you started seeing a lot of DC artwork was changing with a lot of people jumping over to DC Comics. Meaning Warner Brothers, and Marvel meaning Disney now, right? But back then, yeah, Warner. And why did Warner Brothers buy DC anyway? Because they love comic books? They could care less about comic books. But they sure like movies. And once they bought DC in the mid-70s, then what did you start seeing? Superman the movie, Superman 2, and then Supergirl, and you know what I mean? Like, that's why they bought it. So they could have the movie rights. Why did Disney buy Marvel? Because they love comic books? I don't think so. They bought Marvel because of, you got it, movie rights. Okay, licensing and all of that. Have I ever had Myers's in a challenge? Yes, I have, Robert. And I never got it confused because you're never going to confuse Myers's, that super dark, very woody rum. It's like chewing on wood. You're never going to confuse that with any other ordinary dark rum. There's a Myers's single barrel series now, which I've not bought, but that's probably wonderful. All right. Yes, I did do challenges, but my bottle's all gone and I'm not. But I do have Myers silver rum. I do have Myers's silver rum, clear. And I definitely intend to bring that into challenges. And I was showing my friend David, like, look what I found. He was like, man, I've been seeing that for so long. That's so old. And I was like, oh, he shot me down. He was like, that's common, Myers silver rum. I said, well, I didn't know that, but yeah. All right, y'all take care now. I'm glad I got it right. Win, one loss. One win, one loss. So hopefully I'll get a lot more W's and a lot fewer L's. Craft Beer Tastic says, do you collect liquor bottles like you do with beer? No. Liquor bottles are too big. They take up too much space. These are easier to store. And no, I don't. I did save a couple, like, out of production, like Katz and Bestoff vodka. I think that was produced by Heaven Hill for them. Some fake brewery name, distillery name, like Quality Assurance Liquor Company, Bardstown, Kentucky. That's Heaven Hill when you see that. But I remember on the news, in 9 newspaper, they say Katz and Bestoff, K&B, Katz and Bestoff has been purchased by Rite Aid. I think Rite Aid went out of business and they got bought out, right? Or they got bought out and went out of business, something like that. But I said, what? Katz and Bestoff getting bought out? Well, the man who owned it was like 98 years old, and the family didn't want to run it. So it's a very old pharmacy chain here. But they sold liquor, because in Louisiana you could sell liquor at a pharmacy. And so I said, oh, I got to get something with Katz and Bestoff on it. I got to find something with K&B on it. So I went over to the local Katz and Bestoff and I bought a half-size bottle of Katz and Bestoff vodka. It was only like $1.99. And I knew they were going to be gone. So I bought it and I've been having it for all those years. But beyond that, no, I don't save them. Just don't save them. All right. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.